Oh. Sorry about that. I was listening to Rob Fowler. He's down the hall talking about Hugo.
Talking about Hugo?
Yeah.
Is it something special today?
Must be. I think he's going to do the whole morning.
Well,
show.
Today's the 20th anniversary.
Oh,
Of
wow.
Hugo came in
Hugo coming
tonight.
ashore, yeah. Mm-hmm. Tonight into the 22nd, which was a Thursday night, Friday morning.
Now, of course, Rick wasn't born yet.
Yes, I was.
Oh, were you alive then?
I was already in high school.
Really?
Yes.
Did you skip elementary school?
Yeah, he's a little older than 20.
First time I've ever heard him admit that. It was an interesting 2 or 3 days.
Were you here?
No, I was watching it. There was like a 3-year gap because I'd gone back to Tennessee.
So you were in Johnson City then?
Mm-hmm. And then I came back to WEZL.
So you actually knew more than us, probably.
I probably did because I was watching watching it from the outside.
Yeah.
And we loaded up some generators and brought them down here. But that's as close as I got to it.
Did you bring any dry ice? Because they were looking for that too.
We needed dry ice, and they only let 5 people in the food line by my house at a time.
And that guy up the street from you was charging.
Man. I'm still not back in that store yet. That's 20 years I hold a grudge on that guy.
And he's not even there. You know,
He might not even be the same owner anymore.
It's not.
You know what?
Because I talked to him about it.
I'm done with him.
Gary is hard-headed.
I talked to him about that. I said, you know what, Gary, right after Hugo, the guy that ran this place was ripping people off on ice, and Gary won't come in here. Well, he doesn't. We bought it. We don't have anything. Tell Gary to come up here. We'll give him some ice. And I would just,
They've probably even painted the place.
They have.
Probably doesn't even look the same. I think they put in a Church's Chicken, didn't they?
I was upset. Let me tell you
Gary
what.
won't even go in that parking lot.
I made a commitment that day. I said, I will never step foot in that place again. And I haven't in 20 years.
He won't even turn around in the parking lot. He'll go on up to McElveen.
And it's tough for him because Darlene's mad at that guy across the street that has this high gas prices. So there's no place for them to stop.
Man, I got to go to Goose Creek to buy my stuff.
It's but the day of that event, as it was coming in, that huge picture they kept showing on the news, that gigantic hurricane right off the coast, and so this morning, as it was 20 years ago, you guys were already getting
wind.
We were getting some wind
and that morning as you were working.
Yeah. But we did not really abandon the station until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So it built that fast.
Yeah.
Like this time of day, it was.
We were doing the morning show that morning. I mean, they had us different places. I was stationed at the weather service up at the airport. Mm-hmm. Charlie was on the air. Ed Galligan was at the command center for the emergency preparedness. Yeah. And we were just doing live updates all morning. That's all we did. And at 3 o'clock, we shut it down. And Buddy Barton, who owned the station, then said, "Wrap it up, fellas."
What'd y'all do?
We took off and went home. They told us to shut it down and get out of here because we were right here,
Now, had Darlene and the boys left town?
No, we wrote it out here.
Oh, you wrote it out. Mm-hmm. You're one of those.
We wrote it out, too.
Oh,
I remember,
that explains a lot.
For some reason, I believe we were able to run errands till about 6.
Yeah.
Pick up some last minute things that we needed, like
because it didn't come in until probably well into the night.
Like
it was probably 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But boy, that next morning, we knew it had come through here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys go out and walk around during the eye?
Well, I had to take a tree down during the eye because it was leaning right over my house.
Darlene won't even give you a break during a hurricane.
No, and if
that was my
that
call
eye had
on
been
that.
a little wider, he'd have mowed the yard.
True story. I tied one end of a rope to the tree and one end of a rope to the back of my truck, and I pulled that sucker off of my house during the eye because I didn't want it to come through the roof of my house during the second part of the storm.
Yeah.
So me and some neighbors went out there and got it out in the yard, and then we went back in and huddled up for the second part. And
did y'all stay in any particular place of the house where you felt more safe, like a bathroom or something? You
stayed in the bathroom.
We stayed in the living room. My grandmother slept through the whole thing. She went to sleep at 11 like she normally did, woke up the next morning at 7:05 when her alarm went off, and made her, a pot of beans or something. It was just like normal life for her.
Yeah.
Well, she had power. She was one of the unusual ones.
That's true.
Oh, no, she didn't have power. It was a gas stove. That's how she was able to make some beans.
Because I know at that point, then the cleanup and the forever, because I know even over here at Hobcaw Point, it took them, I remember hearing like 2 months to get power back over there.
Some people were without power for the longest time. I think we were only without power for like 5 days up where I was living.
Mm-hmm.
But the very first thing that I remember was just chainsaws going that next morning, cutting all those limbs out so you could get out of your neighborhood because there were trees down everywhere.
I remember
everywhere.
We were without power long enough for my dad to get upset and go buy a generator, and then the power came back on that night.
And he's been mad. He's been mad ever since.
Yes.
That explains Don's
That's why he's
attitude.
grumpy, huh?
Yeah, that's why Don's as grumpy as he is. Generator.
He got
I
power
went out
back before he could use his new generator.
Paid $200 for a generator and
Never got to crank it up.
storm. Bring me some tea.
Diesel time saver traffic from the Gerald